Yo, yo, yo. Yo, what's good to all my heroes and villains out there? Well, you know what it is. It's your boy LC. Guys, welcome to an episode of Heroes and Villains Collectibles. And, yeah, we're live. Damn, I feel like I haven't done a live in a minute. So, just haven't done one. Let me make sure, guys, that audio is good. Everything is good. Let me see. Alright, bet. Yep, audio is good. Whew. Man, had me running for a second. My father-in-law just showed up. I had to help him out, give him my lawnmower, help him load up the lawnmower. Anyways, guys, hope everybody's doing good out there. It's been a minute. I figured I was gonna actually record a video, but seeing how I would have had to record a couple, I'm like, man, let me just go live and do everything that I need to do. I need to show you guys what I literally picked up today at Walmart, something small. Then I had a mail call that I've been wanting to do. Then I got a reaction video. I do believe I still have not seen the Marvel Zombies trailer. I want to see that. I'm a huge Marvel Zombie fan. And then I actually wanted to talk about, there's a lot of huge movie news when it comes to Marvel, the Doomsday movie. So, hey, I figured if you guys wanted to nerd out with me, we can do it. And I figured let me just do all of that in one stream, and then I'll just chop it up into separate videos. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So let's go ahead and start with that. Give me 1 second here. Whew, I'm trying to catch my breath. So, hope everybody's having an awesome Saturday. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm still trying to catch my breath. Literally, right when I sat down to go live, I had everything ready. Everything was set up. My father-in-law was like, hey, I'm outside. I'm like, oh, snaps, I forgot. So I had to haul out and do that. So before we get to the trailer reaction, and then I wanted to check out 2 videos. One from the Cosmic Wonder, talking some Marvel news when it comes to Doomsday, and one by one of my favorite nerds, Josh from the Den of Nerds. Check out his thoughts when it comes to some more Marvel news. Before we do that, I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and do the mail call, you know what I mean, that I've had here for a minute. We'll start with, I got this, right, that I actually picked up today at Walmart. Because I'm like, I went to Walmart to pick up some things. And I'm like, you know what, let me go to the toy section. It's been a minute since I've been there. And I actually found something really cool. Small, but really cool, right? Then, I need to open up this big-ass box right here. So, yes, we can finally do that as well. And then once we do this, we'll open these up, and then we'll go ahead and check out the videos, and then just nerd out. You know what I mean? I'm really excited, man. It's just been a minute since I just been busy with school starting, and I got to do homework with the kids, and it's just work, and it's just too much. Just too much. I'm like, I need a break. I need a break. Whew, still trying to catch my breath. So, all right. So you know what? Let's go ahead and just start with this real quick. I actually went to Walmart and I picked this up. Now, when I saw this, I was like, it actually was the last one. I looked and I'm like, oh, snaps. I'm like, I do not own one of these. So, it is, see, because you guys see see if I can show you guys the little logo. Hot Wheels, right? Hot Wheels. Not only is it a Hot Wheel, was actually able to find the Turtle Wagon. You know, we call it the Turtle Van. You know what I mean? The Hot Wheels version, which is real cool. I'm like, yo, I do not own one of these. And that is really awesome. I actually have one, but it's a little bigger when it comes to the Joy Toys. You guys can't even see it. Well, you guys can't even see it. But yeah, I don't have one of these when it comes to a Hot Wheel. So this is pretty cool. Last one that was there, I was like, yo. So I'm like, I had to pick it up. And then I don't buy Hot Wheels. Like I don't buy Hot Wheels at all. But I was like, yo, $7? I'm like, that's a little steep. You know what I mean? I mean, yo, Hot Wheels are like $7, $8. I was like, I bought it because obviously Ninja Turtles, you know what I mean? But I mean, for somebody that buys Hot Wheels, if you guys out there that be collecting, like, yo, don't get me wrong. There's times that I've gone to Walmart and I see people with carts full of Hot Wheels. I'm like, yo, you guys are paying these prices? Like, this is, me personally, Hot Wheels should be like about $2-3, to be honest with you. They're just small cars. How you gonna be charging $7-8? And who knows if they charge even more? But this was $7. So even I thought that was steep. But I was like, you know what? I don't own one of these. I'm like, I haven't been out, done a toy hunt in a minute, which I kind of sort of stopped doing. But yeah. But one of the main reasons is, one, it's kind of hard to find exactly what you're looking for when you're out there on the hunt. And then two, I figured, man, I have so much stuff, I should be selling some things instead of, but then again, I keep buying. You know what I mean? So, but that's pretty cool right there. Really happy about this one. So I'm sure I'll probably open this up at some point with something to probably put it right here with this. Actually, you know what? Yeah. The last toy hunt I did, guys, was for this, actually. You guys remember, this is the little sewer layer that was pretty cool. So, you know what? I can actually open this and put it inside of here. You know what I mean? Park it somewhere in there. Pretty cool. So, you know. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up this package. But yep, this is exactly what I picked up. I was surprised. You know what I mean? And still, once again, I went through the Walmart, through the toy section, even the Lego section. Nothing good that I liked. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, you know, the pegs was kind of empty, and then they had like mostly DC stuff. You know what I mean? A little bit of Marvel, and the Ninja Turtles they had was things that I already had. So. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and open up this big box. I'll be honest, I'm hoping I think I know what this is. I kind of titled it, but when I titled the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was for this. Okay, so on the title it says, you know, for the Ninja Turtles, it was for this. But I'm thinking that this is something I ordered a long ass time ago. And the last things I've ordered, I mean, unless it's a hot toys are always Marvel. Anything else that's ordered is mainly Ninja Turtles. So I'm thinking this is a Ninja Turtle item here, right? You know? What Ninja Turtle item? I don't even know. I'll be honest with you. Because I haven't ordered nothing lately. So let's go ahead and check it out. Got the handy dandy blade. Oof. So let's see if I'm right. Okay. Let's see what this is. All right. What's this? Oh, snaps. It's another box in here, but I was technically right. But what does it say? What does it say? Classic sewer layer place. Oh, snaps. Yo, I ordered this like a long time ago. Yo, you guys know what this is? Do you know what this is? I ordered this a long time ago. It was like on a pre-order. But you know, nowadays you order something and you're gonna get it about a year or two later. But I want to see what this is, how it looks, because some of you guys know that when it came to a big layer, I was able to pick up the Techno drone. Like the Techno drone is another thing that I was able to pick up on Amazon when it had first dropped, and that was pretty cool. What's dope about the Techno drone is that, like back in the days, you can connect the old sewer layer and the Techno drone together. You know what I mean? So technically, you can still do the same thing with this. You know what I mean? Even though this box looks smaller than the original from 1988. Let's see what we got here. The box inside of a box inside of another box. Jeez. I mean, trust me, I love the secureness. Look at that. Pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about this thing. Completely forgot. Alright. So technically now I have the sewer layer, I have the Techno drone, I have the turtle layer, the turtle van, the original, all that good stuff, and I even have this here, guys. Some of you guys already know. Remember, when it comes to the villains, boom. Some of you guys know I also have the mutant module, which is the villains mobile. You know what I mean? What they use. So that is pretty cool. So technically, I think I should have everything. You know, the module, the turtle van, the Techno drone, the turtle layer now, you know? So, let's pop this baby open. Can I open it through here? That was the other box. Okay. Whew. That's what this baby looks like, man. I haven't seen this since 1988. Almost there. There we go. Oof. Whoa. Yo. Man. This takes me back. It actually from 1989. Because yes, the cartoon came out in 88 and then the toys came out in 89. Look at this right here. Man, I'll be honest, I never thought I would see this again. Unless you're paying like second hand and then you're paying an arm and a leg. And on top of that, you're not even gonna get like all the stickers, everything complete set, none of that. You know what I mean? But this right here. Now, this box is smaller from the original box. Like from the original from 1989. But, look, it even says right here. Smaller box, but same play set size. So the reason why they put that on there was because when they came out with the Techno drone, like last year, the Techno drone, not only was the box a little smaller, which I have it in there. It's in there with the rest of some more turtle stuff and turtle vehicles, but. Not only was the box smaller, but the Techno drone was also smaller. You know what I mean? So people were complaining about that. They were like, yo man, the Techno drone is smaller than the original. And then you have people comparing. You have people that had the original Techno drone and then they bought the remake and you can tell a big difference. You know what I mean? But this is supposed to be the exact same size as the original 1989 and it's supposed to fit the Techno drone. So like this part right here that you see, that part right there, that part connects into the Techno drone. So the Techno drone has like a door. You bring that hatch down, and then it should connect. And then you have the Techno drone and the layer. Literally everything connects, which looks dope. You know what I mean? So check out the back of this. Man, this literally brings me back. Man, that looks dope. It really does. I completely forgot about this. That's the problem when you pre-order stuff and then it takes a long time for it to come out. So, and then especially if you're somebody like me that be getting other things, you know what I mean? So like I'm waiting on some hot toys. So every time I get a delivery, I'm like, yo, is there another hot toy? Is there another hot toy? You know what I mean? There's already a few of them. There's about I want to say like maybe it's 7 or 8 different hot toys that I'm waiting for. So every time something comes in, I'm thinking, yo, is that a hot toy? Nope, it's not. But there we go. That looks real dope, man. I'm really happy about this one right there. Now, one thing that I'm a little bit conflicted on, and I'm debating if I should get it, because once again, I am trying to slow down a lot. But they did come out with the remastered 6-pack, which has the 4 turtles, brand new Splinter, and a brand new Shredder. Now, those reissues that they came out with, they actually fit like the turtle layer or the Techno drone like perfectly. So you can put them in the dungeon like perfectly, like, you know. So like this Splinter right here looks more like the reissue than the original one that came out years ago. You know what I mean? Like that Splinter really looks like the original, like the ones that just came out. So I'm a little conflicted if I should buy that 6-pack, and it's a Target exclusive, so you can only get it at Target. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I actually seen it on the Target website, so I can actually go online and buy it instead of going to Target and missing out if they don't have it. You know what I mean? Like the few times I went to Target, I didn't see them there. But yes, not bad. So we had the turtle layer that came in, and I got lucky at Walmart. Boom, picking up the little turtle van, or here they have it as turtle wagon. So that is dope. I'm not waiting on, to be honest, I'm not waiting on anything else Ninja Turtle related. Like I said, the only thing I'm waiting for is just my hot toys from Marvel. And yeah, the last hot toy I got was the Mark V that I still haven't opened up. And yeah. So that being said, now I want to go ahead and with that down, I want to check out the speaking of Marvel, the Marvel Zombies trailer, man. I still haven't seen it. I'm a huge fan when it comes to the Marvel Zombies. So much so, man, I still have not opened this up right yet. I still have not opened up this Zombie Captain America statue. I got this one, I don't know, like a year or two. Well, when What If came out, right? What If came out like a year or so. So yeah, I haven't opened it, and yeah, I'm a huge, especially Captain America is my favorite Avenger. You know what I mean? Like I have him right here, Zombie Cap. You guys can't really see him. He's attacking Spider-Man. But you got this one here. That's a cool figure right there. So like a lot of my pieces, I got them like doing something. I don't just got them standing up. There's Captain America attacking Peter Parker. Spider-Man, that's right there. So pretty cool. And then you see this giant Marvel zombie Captain America. You know what I mean? So pretty cool, pretty cool. let's go ahead and finally check out the Marvel Zombie trailer. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead and put my headphones on for this one. Plug this in. Actually had it charging. Bet. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's switch it. Boom. All right. All right, guys. Bam. There we go. Let's go ahead and see what this is all about finally. I've been so busy, I haven't even had time to even watch a trailer. And then I forget that these trailers come out. Okay, here we go. Boom. Okay. Let's go ahead and check this out finally. You hear me? That's what I'm talking about. Whoa. For adults. Let's go! Real quick, in the Marvel's What If series, one of my favorite, like it was okay, one of my favorite episodes from that Marvel What If series was the zombie episode. That zombie Marvel, I was like, man, why didn't we get more episodes on What If? So, just letting you guys know, that was one of my favorite episodes. Alright, let's start again from the beginning. Let's go! Oh, is there a virus infecting your system? Go, baby, cat.
All the Avengers are dead. And they're coming for us.
All right, we got a world to save.
Shang-Chi. You got it.
Namor.
Hey.
Shit.
Oh my God. Agent Wu. Oh, snap! Let's go! Oh, Blade! Oh, he's rocking the... Oh! Oh, he's rocking the Moon Knight? Let's go! Oh, gotta... Damn!
Whoa. That's how you do that then.
Wow.
Yo! Okay, let me see. Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Rudd, Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Red Guardian, Tessa Thompson, Simu Liu, Aquafina, Haley Steinfeld, Wyatt Russell, Randall Park, which is Agent Iman Vellani, Dominic Thorne. So we don't have Mahershala Ali ain't playing Blade? What in the world? Kind of messed up. Yo, I gotta see that again. I gotta see that again. Oh, look why I didn't see this. One more time. Bam. Yo, that blade was... Let's go! Is there a virus infecting your system? Yo, was that Star-Lord?
All the Avengers are dead. And they're coming for us.
All right, we got a world to save.
I love that the actors are doing their regular voices, man.
Namor.
Yo, you got Blade, Shang-Chi.
Shit.
Yo, that was crazy. Over 24. Oh man, that's so that was Conchu. That's Conchu. I just noticed that. Watch. There we go, Conchu. If you guys have seen Blade, Conchu is the person that basically, I mean, not Blade. If you guys have seen Moon Knight, Conchu is the person. He looks like a freaking bird, like the beak, that gives Moon Knight his powers. So that is dope right there. I just noticed that. Yo, what's that? Okay, we have. Is that because I saw that little person with the helmet? I thought that was what's his name? This dude, the blue guy, Kang the Conqueror. But no, that's got to be Wasp and Ant-Man. This is dope.
Whoa. That's how you do that then.
Wow.
Hey, yo. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Rody Conchu. Yo, that is. I'm surprised I haven't seen. I don't even know. I'll be honest. I don't remember when the heck this trailer came out. But yo, that is dope. It really is, man. Wow. Oh man, really looking forward to it now. Listen, man, I'm hoping, to be honest, that I heard it was about maybe 4 episodes. I hope they were hour long. Don't waste our time with 30-minute episodes. You know, you're doing the 2-minute, might as well, right? You're doing a 2 hours because you got 4 episodes at 30 minutes. That 2 hours, that's whack. You know what I mean? Please give us about an hour each. An hour, man, of this, man. I want to see an hour. If you're giving us only 4 episodes, I want an hour. I want an hour, man. Oh man, because they slacked on it on What If. They only gave us the 1 episode, which they made 3 seasons of What If. You gonna tell me you couldn't even give us a Marvel zombie each season until it led up to this? You know what I mean? And then that one scene with Thanos when he's holding up the gauntlet, that's how it ended in What If. So I'm thinking that it actually might be a continuation, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? It actually might be a continuation from the actual zombies. Let me see. See if I can find it here. Let me see. This scene right here. This is exactly how it ended. This one here. So in the What If series, that was one of my favorite episodes, was the zombie episode. And then it ended with Thanos coming out with the gauntlet, boom, and then it ended right there. So this must be a continuation literally from that scene. You know what I mean? So, because remember, in the What If episode, the Avengers were all alive, and then Ant-Man was the one, but Ant-Man, not the Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, the other one, the original, what's his name? Oh man, Michael Douglas played him, the original Ant-Man, whatever. So he was the one that bit all of the Avengers, right? He was small. He was the one that turned all the Avengers into zombies. So here they're already zombies. You know what I mean? So yes, it's got to be a continuation. Just continue the story because I love that first Marvel Zombies episode. That was dope. Alright, so looking forward to that. So, alright guys, so now I figured let's go ahead with that down. Let's go ahead and nerd out. We have some Marvel news. Guys, you already know we have the Avengers Doomsday movie coming our way. You know what I'm saying? And there's been a lot of leaks, a lot of rumors and stuff like that. So I actually wanted to check out 2 clips One from Josh from the Den of Nerds, and one from Warren from the Cosmic Wonder. So, first, let's go ahead and check out this crazy rumor, this crazy leak, because it could be that we already know that Robert Downey Jr., aka Iron Man, is now going to be playing Doctor Doom. So, word on the Marvel streets is that Doctor Doom is going to be hunting some of the Avengers that are causing the incursions. That's the worlds are basically going to collide, and you know what I mean. So that being said, supposedly Doctor Doom. Everybody knows how Avengers Endgame ended. Captain America went back in time to stay with Peggy Carter and basically live out his life with her, right? I believe they had kids. If you guys remember that scene when in Avengers, which one was it? Where she dies, was it it was Avengers, was it Civil War? Where Peggy dies as an old lady, and then I believe that she did have kids with Captain America, Steve Rogers. Like, there's a comic book issue where they actually had kids, right? So, rumor is, before we even see what Josh is talking about, but this has been a little bit other videos and other people talking about. Rumor is that when Captain America went back in time to stay with Peggy Carter, that right there caused an incursion. It's causing. Because he's not supposed to, even though technically he's still in the same universe, he just went back in time. Because remember, it was said, if I'm not mistaken, in Loki, that if you leave your, or I could be wrong, yeah, if you leave your, is it your Earth, right, and you end up in a different Earth, now your original Earth is pulling to you, and you're on this Earth, so it's going to collide, right? Supposedly. Also, another thing was that for the X-Men, okay, so Doctor Doom wants to hunt down Steve Rogers, Captain America, because supposedly by him staying with Peggy Carter, which they didn't explain it, because also if we saw Loki told the TVA, hey, the Avengers went back in time and they messed with time. But then the TVA said, yeah, but that was supposed to happen. But you being here using the Tesseract was not supposed to happen. You know what I mean? So, because remember, he ended up in a whole different place with the Tesseract. You know, that Tesseract will literally transform you into a different universe. You know what I mean? So, you know, so to a different realm. That's how they call it, different realms. So, supposedly, Doctor Doom is hunting Captain America down to kill him because by Captain America staying with Peggy Carter caused Doctor Doom's universe or something to happen to him, right? Something to happen to his universe, either being destroyed or some people dying in his universe, something happening. You know what I mean? So that's why he wants to stop Captain America. But we all know that technically Loki is a good guy now. So, word on the street is that Loki is trying to get to Captain America before Doctor Doom gets to Captain America. But the problem with that is, even though we see Loki as a good guy now, Captain America remembers Loki as a bad guy. So, do you really think that Captain America is going to, in the past, because he's with Peggy Carter, you know what I mean? Let's say Loki shows up. Boom. Yo, I need your help. You know what I mean? Dr. Doom is coming. And then, you know what I mean? Yo, Dr. Doom is bad news. Captain America is not going to all of a sudden just be like, okay, cool, and go with Loki. But Captain America knows that Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, died. So if Dr. Doom shows up, he's going to be like, yo, what the heck is going on? But Dr. Doom, I'm sure he's going to lie to Steve. Like, oh, no, it's me. You know what I mean? It's me, you know, Tony Stark, and basically lie to him to trick him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Supposedly back in the day, the rumor was that Dr. Doom was going to go back in time and kill the original Iron Man and then take his place and then recruit everybody else. You know what I mean? And then, I don't know. That was another rumor back in the days. But let's see what's going on now. Like I said, man, these rumors change every day. You know what I mean? But some are good, some are bad, and some are like, what the? You know what I mean? But yeah. So, like I said, I got two videos here. One is going to be from the Den of Nerds from Josh. This is going to be about 15 minutes. And the other one is going to be from the Cosmic Wonder. It's about 9 minutes. But yo, these guys know what they're talking about. Especially Josh. I love that nerd. You know what I mean? Be nerding out. So a lot of the things he says, I agree with. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see what he's talking about. So this is titled, "The New Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom Leaks Are Weird. Let me explain." Go ahead, Josh. Take it away.
This has set the fandom on fire a little bit, and a lot of people are confused by this. So here's what it is here. She says, if I understand correctly, Steve going back in time to be with Peggy created the incursions that killed Dr. Doom's family. Now Doom is hunting Steve to kill him for what he did, manipulating everybody in his plan to achieve it. Now, first of all, what I'll tell you is, this is partially correct from what I understand, but I don't think she actually fully understands what is going on here. And I had a couple of different questions about this. I think there's...
Who's Dr. Doom's family? Because anybody that's read anything with Dr. Doom knows that his mom and dad, like, they died while he was a kid. You know what I mean? He even went to hell to fight with Mephisto, which we saw Mephisto in the... What was that show that just came out? That, look at that. What was that? Ironheart? Which that was a terrible way to introduce Mephisto. But in the comic books, Dr. Doom goes to hell to fight Mephisto to get his mother's soul out of hell to save his mom. So I don't know who Dr. Doom's family is, because you've never seen Dr. Doom unless it's with the Fantastic Four. Now he's real close with Valeria, which is Sue Storm's daughter. I think he even gave her the name Valeria. And then, so, you know, if you're talking about family, are we talking about the Fantastic Four? But he don't mess with the Fantastic Four like that. So let's see what happens.
A couple of different things that are really weird about this. So let me just be crystal fucking clear. I did have a source tell me that this isn't exactly correct, that there's more to it, and that there's something that Shine is missing. I also believe that if you look at particularly like some of the things that Shine has gotten wrong, like for instance, Shine had the scoop that Galactus was going to get Franklin because Franklin could then recreate the universe that Galactus was from. That was a big scoop that Shine had that ended up not being true. And I would argue that, like, one or two things could be going on. Maybe they had that in there and they cut it, or maybe they're putting out fake information via the scripts.
We are gardeners.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Come on, for real?
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand smashed
And one of the most important things to recognize is that the dialogue is where a lot of this seems to be happening, where it could have been in the script, all this nonsense about him bringing the universe back, and then just on the day of, somebody just says, hey, Ralph, why don't you do one where you say he's the power cosmic? Why don't you do one where he says this? And then they just take that and they make it. And it's hard to say, like, did the plan change, or is the plan purposely wrong to throw some of the scoopers off? We know for sure that Marvel has engaged in fake scripts.
That before. Yeah, fake
famously,
scripts.
there were big fake scripts for Deadpool and Wolverine. This was why Alex Perez at one time was talking about how there was going to be this fight between Jean Grey and the Scarlet Witch. And we were all like, holy shit, that sounds fucking incredible. Apparently, it was all a fake script. Okay? So Marvel puts fake stuff out there. So I think that obviously there's some truth in this. Okay, there's some truth in this because Steve is important. Doom is trying to get after Steve for some reason here. But there's a couple of things that don't make any sense to me. Number one, Dr. Doom's family. Chat,
who's his family?
We got any Marvel Comics heads in here?
Right here, baby.
Any of you Marvel Comics heads? Let me just ask you a question here. Who could it possibly be Doctor Doom's family? Who's Doctor Doom's family?
I don't know.
Like, answer me that question. Who even is Doctor Doom's family?
He doesn't have a family, to my knowledge.
His mother? Yeah, but she dies when he's a child.
Mm-hmm.
His father? His father dies when he's a child. Who's his family?
I'm talking about.
He doesn't
Josh.
have a family.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay? In fact, the closest thing that Doom has to a family is Reed's family.
Fantastic Four.
Valeria, Sue,
and Franklin.
Franklin.
That's it.
And you know what's kind of odd about
He
that?
don't care about Reeves.
Is like, if you think about it, the leaked concept art, which there's a lot we don't know, but let's just assume that that was real. The leaked concept art shows Doom, Sue Storm, and Franklin.
Yeah.
And so it seems like Doom's going to take the family of Reed, just like he did in Hickman's Secret Wars, and that's his family. Okay?
Okay.
So who even is Doctor Doom's family? His family is Reed's family.
That would
Well,
make sense.
how could it be the case that Steve going back in time to be with Peggy created the incursions that killed Doctor Doom's family? I mean, the only way that makes sense to me, I mean, there's a couple of ways that this could make sense. Like, technically, if it's just a Tony variant, then it's not actually Doom's family, it's Tony's variant family. And so, like, he's looking at Tony's family and everything that he had, and he's like, oh my God, when you went back in time, Steve, you prevented my version of the timeline where I could have had all this and had my family and all that sort of stuff. But I don't think that's what it is. Okay? So one of the other options could be, oh, he's talking about the destruction of the Fantastic Four universe, which is inevitable because it is not the sacred timeline. And that means that his family, as in Sue, Reed, and all of them, he views Steve's choice as sacrificing the other universes, aka 838, where he is from. Okay? But I don't think that's what it is either.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't think that's what it is either. Now, there's a couple of things that are kind of wild about this, and I think there's more to it that you need to explore. If Steve did indeed go back to live with Peggy, which it seems like he did, according to the leaks, he did it after he put all of the stones back. So if Steve, and remember, there was a Nomad show, right? There was a Nomad show. This has been confirmed by multiple people, including Bo DeMeo. In fact, Bo recently talked about this, and he said they had all these ideas, but they couldn't figure it out, and they ended up just scrapping it. But, like, the point is, Steve and Peggy was always going to be a part of whatever was going to happen for Secret Wars. This was intended when Endgame was going on. That's the reason that Michael Waldron got all cagey about this exact question when he was doing the press for Loki Season 1. It's probably why you have a Peggy Carter-looking person pulled into Loki Season 1. It is also probably why Tom Hiddleston as Loki is rumored to have been the fourth person that shot the scene that was a dialogue scene with Peggy and Steve in Avengers Doomsday.
You're a fortress.
Okay. Come on,
Nothing can break.
There we go.
This thing was always a part of the plan, and it was always meant to happen after a Nomad show and after Steve went around to put all of the stones back. Well,
A Nomad show would have been dope. Those of you guys that don't know who Nomad is. Nomad is Captain America. But he did basically takes off the star, you know what I mean? And and then it would have been dope because in the show, supposedly, they were going to show Captain America actually going back and turning in the stones. That would have been dope. We would have seen him returning all of the stones that everybody collected in Infinity War. But I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't know why they didn't do that. They decided to do whack shows like Ironheart. Like, I don't know what Disney's doing, man. You got some good ideas, and then you're doing dumb stuff. I don't know.
I mean, I can tell you what I think it is. I could tell you what I think's going on. I think it has to do with Steve learning something about the multiverse and the timelines and deciding to come back and live a life on the main timeline. And I think he did help to shape certain events and things that happened in the timeline. Mainly, I believe what he did was make sure that things happened the way that he remembered them. I think it has to do, and I think it'll end up having to do with the whole RDJ and Tony thing. And I think what Doom is, the reason Doom wants to kill Steve, and I think maybe even the reason that he needs to kill Steve, is because Steve basically became something on the timeline that, just like He Who Remains, was making sure certain things happened. And one of the things that happened has a lot to do with the RDJ and Dr. Doom thing. And so essentially, Victor will see Steve as a person that knew the truth and yet chose to go back and make sure that the lies, the universe, the fake version of the universe was protected. And that is the whole problem. So I don't think it's actually the incursions, although the incursions could be a byproduct of that, perhaps. And I think Doom is going to manipulate everybody around him to try to get to Steve. I think that is true. But I think exactly what happened with Steve, the truth of what is going on with Steve and the sacred timeline and Dr. Doom is not this. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't it. It's like this, but there's something more to it. There's an element here that we're not understanding. So I just wanted to throw that out there because, like, dude, this doesn't make sense from, like, multiple reasons. You know what I mean? And when you realize that this was something that had been planned for a long time, that the Nomad show was going to be a very important part of this.
I wish we would've
and I
had
think it's going to end up tying back into Endgame in a couple of exact scenes. Like, I have a theory. I'm not like telling you the full theory here, but I think maybe some of you might know where my head's at with it, but I'm going to put it all into a big video. Yeah. So this whole thing is like crazy, right? And then there's the whole added element of they have kids. You know, so Steve has kids with Peggy, and his kids then are on the timeline, right? So there's like something there that was going on that it obviously does destabilize the entire mold.
Well, in the comic books, he has two kids, a boy and a girl. You know what I'm saying? But they're not supposed to be born. You know what I mean? So is that cause something also, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because now Steve, remember, we get to see Steve Rogers as an old man at the end of Endgame. We saw Peggy die, old lady, you know what I mean? So you know they had kids. And the comic book, they have kids. They have two, a boy and a girl. You know what I'm saying? And yes, they do have ability. I believe it. I forgot their name. His daughter has all of the strengths and powers of Steve Rogers. And his son has, I know they both have abilities. It's been a long time. But yeah. So that's the thing though. That's like on some Back to the Future-ish right there. You know what I mean? You had something that was never supposed to happen, even if Steve went back. Okay, cool. But now you had kids. Something happened now that messed up the rest of the future. That opened up, you can say, a new branch timeline. Or something like that. And maybe that timeline is what affected Dr. Doom. I don't know.
Multiverse. But I don't think it's going to just be as simple as like, oh, yeah, Steve Rogers doing that was the actual cause of the incursion, so Doom just wants to kill him so there's no incursion. Doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, from what I understand, Doom is very comfortable with the multiverse collapsing. You know? He doesn't want there to be a multiverse, and he understands that this version of the multiverse is false. So it doesn't make sense that he would even just want to stop the incursions. None of this makes sense.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, literally none of this makes sense. But sure, I mean, maybe this is in some scripts. You know, maybe this is on some documentation. Like, I'm not saying that she's lying. I think she's being lied to.
And then on top of that, guys, it's been said that we're going to have about 3 different versions of Robert Downey Jr. and 3 different versions of Captain America. We're going to have old man Cap, obviously, young Captain America again, because they're going back in time, and who knows if we're going to have, like, Hydra Cap, like evil Captain America, right? We're going to have Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, and we're going to have Robert Downey Jr. back again as Iron Man. And we're going to have Robert Downey Jr. back as something else. You don't pay one person over $100 million to play one character. Heck no.
That's my take on that. What do you guys think? What do you think? Bro, since we know Doom is not going to be Romani in the MCU, do you think his family will die when Doom is an adult? And that's what prompts his arc? I think his origin is going to be basically comic book origin done in 838. That's what I think it is. A guy at work looks like James Gunn. I thought for a minute it was him. Wait, what? Like at work, or like that was at your place of work, right?
Okay.
Because if he's there working, like, no.
All right, Josh. But, all right, when it comes to Josh, when it comes to that, that is some... Whew. Like, when you really think about it, yeah, that's dope. I want to see a movie where Robert Downey Jr. is hunting Captain America. You know what I mean? And he's looking at it like, yo, what the... You know? And then... And in Dr. Doom's mind, it's going to be easy because this guy thinks I'm somebody else. But then Loki shows up. Remember, guys, we cannot forget about Loki. Loki is seeing everything that's happening. Loki is the one person holding that whole multiverse together. And Loki can literally be in one place and then have his... Remember, he's a god of mystery. He can literally have... But to teleport another part of him someplace else and warn... Steve, because he can't let go of that. If he lets go of that whole timeline, I mean, and let's say he does, right? Let's say he can't hold it on more. I don't know, because another leak is that there's gonna be a huge battle at the TVA. So Dr. Doom is gonna go to the TVA to try to fight Loki. So that's gonna be crazy. So that means that Loki is still going to be on the throne, holding everything together while Dr. Doom is showing up at the TVA. You know what I mean? Then you have, okay, supposedly Dr. Doom not only was going after Captain America, he was supposed to be going after other characters as well. So let's say Monica Rambeau. Remember, Monica Rambeau at the end of the Marvels ended up at the X-Men universe. Now, they've already filmed parts of Dr. Doom in the X-Men universe with Sentinels. So Dr. Doom shows up at the X-Men universe with a bunch of Sentinels, because remember, the Sentinels, we know how strong they are. So we have the Sentinels, Dr. Doom versus the X-Men. Why is Dr. Doom there? To probably kill Monica Rambeau, because by her being there, see, that makes sense. It makes sense that Monica Rambeau is causing an incursion because she's in a whole different universe. You know what I'm saying? Literally, we actually seen it happen. So it makes, like, why else would Dr. Doom be there? Why would Dr. Doom be trying to fight the X-Men? Unless he's trying to get to somebody. That somebody is Monica Rambeau. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Then something happened because, and on top of that, just the other day, Channing Tatum, who plays Gambit, came out on an interview and said that he filmed a scene with Gambit versus Dr. Doom. Gambit versus Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom whooped his ass, which obviously would make sense because, I mean, come on, Gambit. You know what I mean? I know you're strong. I know you're powerful. You know what I mean? But, yo, Dr. Doom ain't there. Dr. Doom ain't coming to play cards. If you know what I mean. Okay? So, Dr. Doom whoops Gambit. A fight breaks out. I guess Dr. Doom finally leaves. Then, the Avengers show up afterwards. X-Men will be like, yo, we were just attacked. This dude is sending more people. You know what I mean? So now we finally we get the X-Men versus the Avengers. Why? Because the X-Men don't know who the hell the Avengers are, and the Avengers don't know who the X-Men are. So we have a battle right there until finally Monica Rambeau is the only person that can stop the fight between the X-Men and the Avengers. Why? Because Monica is going to be like, yo, these are my people. Remember, Monica Rambeau was trapped with the X-Men. So, if you have the Avengers showing up where the X-Men are, Monica Rambeau is going to be like, yo, those are my people. Especially if you got Captain Marvel. You know your Captain Marvel is going to be there. You know what I mean? You can't have the Avengers rescue Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel not be there. You know what I mean? So, we have a nice fight. Man, I hope it's like a good long fight. Even if it's about 17 minutes long. Remember when in Civil War, when we had the Avengers versus the Avengers, you know, Spider-Man was fighting the Winter Soldier and Falcon. That went on for 17 minutes. So let's say we get a good 20-minute fight. I know that ain't gonna be, but let's say, man, we get a 20-minute, or round it off. Let's say the same. Let's say we get a 17-minute fight between X-Men versus the Avengers. Fight going on, breaking out. Monica Rambeau's like, yo, what the? She's like, well, what's going on? Beast is like, nah, stay here. Because remember, they're going to protect her because she's not from that planet. So they're going to be like, nah, stay here. There's some ish going on. So she's going to stay in the building, fight. A fight's going to break out. She's going to finally leave and be like, yo, those are my peoples. Stop. You guys are fighting the wrong people. You know what I mean? She's going to tell the Avengers that, yo, these are good guys. And tell the X-Men, these are good. And they're finally going to team up. Like, if you think about it, that makes perfect sense in my mind. You know what I mean? Then they team up and they finally come to the conclusion that Dr. Doom is the bad guy, and they all got to team up to fight Dr. Doom. So that's where I'm at with it. That makes perfect sense. I actually made the movie. I wrote the whole movie already. But I'm just saying, man, that sounds a lot better. So, all right. That being said, with that down, let's go ahead and check out one more video. This is going to be a lot shorter. This is going to be from the Cosmic Wonder. This one is titled Avengers Doomsday Century. Proof, X-Men, and Dr. Doom scene. There we go. Just like I was saying. Let's see what's going on. Remember, this has been rumored already for a few months. Like I said, we have a lot of rumors and leaks, and we just don't know what's true. But, all right, let's go ahead and do this.
Just got some news about a new scene happening in Avengers Doomsday, this time with the Avengers, the X-Men, and Doctor Doom. Now, we've heard about a lot of scenes in Avengers Doomsday so far, but we haven't exactly heard too much about how the Avengers...
That's the scene right there. This is the scene that Josh was talking about. Look it, right here. Right here, he's already God Emperor Doom. This is Dr. Doom. He's already a god, right? This is Doctor Strange. Or is it Sheriff? In the comic books, it's like Sheriff Strange. Because he teams up. Doctor Strange teams up with Doctor Doom. Basically becoming his like right-hand man. So we got Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, right here. Back here. You see, this is, what's her name? Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four, Invisible Woman. And this is Franklin, right here. Franklin. This is supposed to be Reed Richards. This looks like Yelena. I could be wrong. So, Let's see what happened. Like I said, it's literally right there. This is what Josh was talking about. The one when he was saying the art, that there was an art, a picture of the scene. This is the picture he was talking about.
Scenes in Avengers Doomsday so far, but we haven't exactly heard too much about how the Avengers and the X-Men are going to interact with each other. When Avengers Doomsday was first announced, we heard early reports that the Avengers were going to fight the X-Men, and we would get that classic Avengers versus the X-Men storyline for just a little bit in the movie. And we assume that's when they first meet each other. We know that Doctor Doom is going to attack the X-Mansion using Sentinels. So what I predict is that when the Avengers show up to their universe, because that's what we heard is going to happen, they're just going to assume they're a threat like Doom was. But the scene we're going over today is about the Avengers and the X-Men working together.
Now that right there that you guys are seeing, that's actual footage of on set. And like these holes that you see right there are supposed to be like Sentinels, like broken pieces of Sentinels and like a bunch of destruction in front of the X-Mansion. So this is already happening. There's a fight going on. Now I don't know if this happened with the Avengers versus X-Men, or if this happened with Doctor Doom and the Sentinels versus the X-Men. But this is in front of the X-Mansion.
Particularly around Sentry and Doctor Doom trying to manipulate Sentry and use him to fight the others. Now, we've heard a little bit already about Sentry interacting with Doctor Doom, and I think Sentry is actually going to be how we find out a little bit about Doctor Doom's backstory. Just like in the Thunderbolts when Yelena or John Walker touched Sentry, we saw a little bit into their past. I think the same thing is going to happen with Doctor Doom. But this new report says that Doom is going to weaponize Sentry and the Void.
If you guys have not seen Thunderbolts, I recommend you guys watch Thunderbolts. It's already on Disney Plus. Man, the movie was real good. I enjoyed it. I actually watched it again the other day. I've seen it in theaters a few times. I even seen it again on Disney Plus. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the hell people are talking about, man. This movie is awesome. Like, I really enjoyed it watching it again here. And, yeah, man. And Sentry is going to play a big part. There's a reason why they left him alive. Well, not alive, but they left them teamed up with the new Avengers. Which Thunderbolts, you know, which are now the new Avengers.
According to the insider James Mack, who has been leaking a lot of information about Avengers Doomsday, he states that Bob, or Sentry, cannot use his powers without the Void taking control of his body, leaving him more fearful and insecure, as he is currently the strongest hero/Avenger alive, and the Avengers need him for this new threat. Now, the new threat is obviously Doom, and the post-credit scene for the Thunderbolts did indeed show us that
this guy is so powerful. Sentry is so powerful that it literally took the Incredible Hulk to fight one-on-one with Sentry, and it ended with a tie. The Hulk could not destroy Sentry. Sentry could not destroy the Hulk. There is no way. You know what I mean? Like, this Sentry can destroy the entire Avengers and X-Men. Same with the Hulk. You know what I mean? Because you can't beat the Hulk. So in the comic books, it literally ended with a tie. Everything was destroyed, but it ended with a tie. Sentry versus the Hulk. Like, they couldn't beat each other. They could not beat each other. That's how powerful this guy is, and Doctor Doom is going to capture him.
At least he is afraid to use his powers, because he is afraid that the Void will be unleashed again, and he won't be able to control it. But here's where this gets really interesting. Bob might have some help in the form of a mutant, a psychic mutant. And that is in the form of Professor Xavier. And I know what you're thinking already. We don't want to see Professor X die again, and I'm right there with you. I really don't want to see that happen again, because the last time he tried to get into somebody's mind on screen, that was the mind of the Scarlet Witch, and that didn't work out for him. Will Marvel make us watch yet another Professor X death? We'll have to wait and see. But the insider continues with his report and states, in Avengers Doomsday, Doom exploits his fragility and fear, creating chaos among heroes, pretending to help, manipulating them into fragile puppets before revealing himself as the true villain. Now, at this point, we've heard many different
Okay,
insiders
makes
state
sense.
that Doctor Doom is indeed going to manipulate the Avengers. Well, heroes in general, but specifically the Avengers, because they're the ones who are going to realize he looks exactly like Tony Stark.
Exactly.
Maybe the X-Men in their universe had a
X-Men
Tony
don't.
Stark, but I'm assuming probably not. And again, the fact that they brought RDJ back specifically to play Doctor Doom, and the fact that the Russo brothers said no to Robert Downey Jr. asking them to return to direct this film for a year until the perfect idea for a script came along, one, comforts me that this movie is going to be great because they said no for a year until finally getting the right idea, and two, it tells me that they are indeed going to use the fact that it's RDJ playing both of these characters, once Iron Man and now Doctor Doom, as a plot point in the movie, and using it to manipulate them makes sense. But he continues with the report stating, from pre-viz, tech-viz, and post-viz I've seen involving the Sentry, it seems a heavy trigger in Bob will cause the monster Void to take over. Not like in the Thunderbolts, we're talking about the creature Void. Now, we kind of did see the creature, the Void, in the Thunderbolts, but it came in the form of basically a shadow Bob within the Void. But recently some leaked concept art came out for the Void, and it did look pretty monstrous, and it looks like the Russo brothers are probably going to go with this version in Avengers Doomsday over the version that we saw in the Thunderbolts. And it's not really different. The Void can take many different forms, so it's not like they're going to be changing it up a lot from what we saw in the Thunderbolts as far as concept goes. It'll just simply change forms and be more monstrous, which I'm totally here for.
And it would make more, and it would make sense. Like, you know, everybody evolves. You know what I'm saying? Until this, like his stage one, like his Mark 1, how he looked, and then we see him again, and now he's like, whoa, you didn't even know how powerful you really was. You know what I mean? And just like in the comic books, you can't kill the Void. You only stop the Void by basically erasing your own memory. That's what happened with Sentry. He had them erase his memory, which I think it was, who was it that erased his memory? Was it Professor X? Was it Professor X? Because Sentry had been around for a long time, and nobody knew. Like, everybody, they made it so that, I think it was Professor X, made it so that everybody forgot who Sentry was, including Sentry, because if Sentry forgets who he is, then the Void forgets. You know what I mean? Yep.
But this is where Professor X comes in. He then states, and the Professor X, in a mental battle, will attempt to end the Void once and for all, preventing Bob/the Void from killing all the heroes. And even replying to a post that says, which one are you most excited for? I do expect the Russos' take on the Void to be more terrifying, and they do show the concept art that I was mentioning that was released for the original plans for the Void, and he said, it's that Void I'm talking about. So a big, monstrous Void villain, essentially. And that does seem very Doom-like, manipulating Sentry/the Void to harm the other heroes, while at the same time, he's trying to convince them that he's actually trying to help. This also makes me think that perhaps it's Professor X that is the one who realizes that Doom is not good going inside of Bob's head, presuming he lives, and I swear he better. Now, if this is the case, it makes me think that perhaps Dr. Doom really is in that Fantastic Four ship at the end of the Thunderbolts, because if the Fantastic Four gets there first and they see Doom, they're obviously going to say, hey, that's not whoever this Tony Stark guy is, that's Victor Von Doom. That's the guy who kidnapped our son. So it would make sense that Doom would be in that Fantastic Four ship, and he gets to the Earth 616 universe first. And perhaps that's how the Fantastic Four get there. They track some type of energy, perhaps the power cosmic that their son apparently has. They track that to Earth 616, and that's how the Fantastic Four arrive. But going back to Charles Xavier trying to help Bob.
Man. Yo, man. Marvel does a great job, man, when they're casting their characters most of the time. But I think they dropped the ball, man, with this guy right here, man. They could have picked any other Reed Richards. They had to go with Pedro Pascal. It's like, come on, man. I like this guy as an actor, but I don't like him as Reed Richards. Even in the Fantastic Four. Yeah, I enjoyed the Fantastic Four movies. But I really wish it would have been, like, literally, you could have kept everybody, but just change Reed Richards. Could have been anybody else.
Bob with the void in his mind, this actually is a pretty big tie-in to X3 and how Professor X essentially tampered with Jean Grey's mind, putting psychic barriers in it. Perhaps that is what Charles' plan is here. Perhaps he can put barriers inside of Sentry's mind to keep the void away. In the comics, the way that they actually get rid of the void is essentially erasing Robert Reynolds' mind of any knowledge that he has about Sentry, about the void, and that's what they decide to do. So he has no recollection that he was ever this hero called the Sentry. He has no recollection that he has powers even. And this does indeed get rid of the void, but it also gets rid of the Sentry. But perhaps that is actually the plan. If Dr. Doom is manipulating him and you have the Avengers and the X-Men and a bunch of heroes capable of taking on Dr. Doom if the Sentry is out of the way, then perhaps the goal is essentially to get inside Sentry's mind and erase the knowledge that he has powers, which would kind of take him out of the equation. It would get rid of the void. And in the comics, Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Strange and a lot of people are involved in this, so it would kind of check out and be pretty comic accurate. The only question is Charles really willing to do this after the mess that he caused in X?
Sentry is Marvel's Superman with baggage. You know what I mean? Because obviously you see Superman, Boy Scout, perfect. Sentry has all of the powers of, has a million. Look, that super serum, he has, I think they said it's a million more times more powerful than the powers of the sun. You know what I mean? A million. He's just like Superman, but he's damaged. He got brain, he got issues. Superman doesn't have issues. Sentry has issues, has demons, literally.
X3. Now, we don't know if it's the same exact timeline. We do assume Famke Janssen is going to return as Jean Grey, which means that she wouldn't have died in X3. Plus, Days of Future Past did happen. Who knows what that changed? So maybe that all didn't go down. However, I still feel that Professor X would still be kind of cautious about it, just to not have another Jean Grey Phoenix situation. Because the situation is very similar. A person with immense powers essentially fighting an alter ego. It does make Charles Xavier the perfect person that is equipped to deal with Bob / the Sentry / the Void. I just wonder how it's going to work out. And if you are Dr. Doom, you can clearly see that the Sentry is going to be the strongest out of everybody. And weaponizing the Sentry is something that Dr. Doom would do. And this also kind of does solve a problem, which is the Sentry is just really too strong right now in the MCU. He is essentially invincible. That's why he has the Void, because it nerfs him a lot. If the Sentry was fine, if it was just Bob and he didn't have the Void or any of that with him, he would be unstoppable. We saw what he did to the Thunderbolts in the Thunderbolts film. He's invincible. He has psychic abilities. He can fly. He can melt things with his mind. We saw him melt John Walker's gun. He could probably take Doom out pretty fast if he got the drop on him. Now, we don't really know how powerful Doom is in the MCU. Hopefully, he's a very powerful sorcerer, but it's easy to see how the biggest threat to Dr. Doom could be Sentry. So taking him out of the equation would probably be Doom's priority, and then manipulating him and the Void to manipulate everybody else. I'm definitely here for this, but I just really hope that Professor X does not die on screen again. With our luck, he probably will. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this new report and this new scene in the comments down below.
Don't jinx it, Wonder. Wow. And there we have it, guys. Oof. There we have it. I am excited, real excited for this movie, man. I'll be honest, I'm done. I'm done with the leaks and the scoops and I feel like we know way too much about this movie already. Way too much. But yeah, I cannot wait. And like I said, this is just the Doomsday. After Doomsday, we get Secret Wars. Now, Secret Wars is a whole different type of beast. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys. Whew, that was good. Shouts out to the Cosmic Wonder. Shouts out to Josh over there at the Denim Nerds. Yeah, that was really dope, really awesome. So guys, let me know your thoughts, man. Let me know your thoughts. I figured, like I said, it would have been a lot to do. I've been backed up when it comes to all of this stuff, all of this news. doing my own thing and just been super busy. That's why I'm like, let me just do a live stream to catch up on what I have not caught up on yet. Especially, like I said, oh man, I can't wait for that Marvel Zombies. Please give us 1 hour. You're giving us 4 episodes already. Make it an hour each, please, Marvel. You know what I mean? Stop teasing us. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys are looking forward to it, if you didn't know any of this stuff before and how hyped you are now, I'm looking forward to finally having the X-Men versus the Avengers. Please, even if it's a 15-minute fight. You gave us 17 minutes at Civil War when it was the Avengers versus the Avengers at the airport scene, which was an amazing. That was one of the best scenes in the movie. You know what I mean? So even if you give us 15 minutes, please make it. I don't want no 5-minute scene of them fighting and nah, man. Like, you know what I mean? Come on, make it count. Avengers versus the X-Men. I even have the comic book series of that, so I know how much you guys can really throw down. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, that is it, man. That is it, and there you have it. We've done the mail call unboxing. You guys already seen. So yeah, and now we got the information, the 411, when it comes to what's happening for the Doomsday. Once again, this is all for Doomsday. Nothing is being said for the Secret Wars. Alright, so on that one, that's where we're gonna leave it, guys. Hey, check it out. Make sure to comment below. Let me know your thoughts on all of this, and what you guys thought about this news. If you guys are looking forward to the Marvel Zombies, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to these next 2 Avengers movies. Yes, I know Marvel's been slacking with the other movies and the other shows, but listen, Thunderbolts was good. Recommend you guys watch Thunderbolts because the Void is playing a huge part in this new Doomsday movie. You know what I mean? So yeah. But on that one, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Make sure to check out the Heroes and Villains Collectibles Instagram. Make sure to follow us on there. You guys want to check out the rest of the collection. Also, share, like, subscribe if it's the first time checking out your boy. Alright? And, yeah. This was dope. I finally caught up with everything, and I finally got to see the Marvel Zombies trailer. And once again, be on the lookout. I have to open up this Marvel Zombies Captain America statue, which I've been slacking on. So, alright, guys, on that one, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Once again, comment below, let me know your thoughts, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Alright, so this was dope. This is awesome. This has been another episode of Heroes and Villains Collectibles. I'm your boy, LC. Until next time, guys. Peace.